My name is Leslie Michael, and you can find me at www.outwardgrants.com. My mission is to assist people in their quest to live with purpose and joy, and I do that by sharing financial, personal, and health solutions. I'm going to share some stories that are going to shock you. Some of these stories are going to be very, very encouraging, and some of these stories are going to be very, very scary. But the one thing I'm not going to do is treat you like an idiot and sugarcoat everything, because I have too much respect for you for being here, and I believe you deserve to hear things that the mainstream financial world tends to shy away from. I'm also going to be using the word "you" here, as if I were talking to all 34 million Canadians. I have looked at a lot of baby boomers and people who are in their 50s and 40s. I've looked at their financial portfolios. And it's the same story all the time, especially with RRSPs. For the last 10 years, they haven't made a dime of money. They lost it right over here during the dot-com bubble. There was never a bubble that has burst like the dot-com bubble. And then they lost it again during the 2008 financial crash. The difference between a compulsive gambler and an investor is that an investor knows when to get out before his luck runs out. Which leads me to a conclusion. If you don't do your own financial thinking, someone else is going to do your financial thinking for you. Now, whether that someone else is a banker, or a financial advisor, or an insurance advisor, or a real estate investor, or someone else, the more I talk to these people, the more they disagree with each other. As I was pointing out in regards to the competition, you're now starting to realize why they disagree with each other. And that's a problem. Because if anyone turns on the news these days and takes a look at the financial world, I don't think anyone's going to disagree that there are some financial hard times ahead. There's a financial storm brewing that'll possibly make the last financial crisis seem like a little speed bump on the road to disaster. And if you don't get started prepared for these sorts of things, you're not going to have a bright future ahead. But if you do get prepared now for the coming events, you're likely going to see tremendous wealth come towards you. You don't have to believe a word I say. I can only speak to you from my own experiences. That doesn't make me right and it doesn't make me wrong. It doesn't make me a good person, it doesn't make me a bad person. It just means I'm telling you my own experiences, I believe. My opinion can change. I am not so rigid that someone doesn't debate something with me and I go, no, I don't want to listen to you. If you have something to say that, that you think that you would argue with me and I would agree with it, by all means, I'm willing to listen. But if the things I say today, if they resonate with you, I encourage you to investigate them further. And if they don't resonate with you, you're welcome to disregard it. Is that fair? Cool. Most financial advisors and most bankers have no idea how money is even created. I want you to think about that for a second, and I'll prove that to you. If you go into YouTube and you type in Mike Maloney is the author of this book, Rich Dad's Advisor Guide to Investing in Gold and Silver. He was invited last year to speak at the International Banking Forum in Sochi, Russia. Sochi, Russia is where the next Winter Olympics is going to be. And the purpose of this conference was for bankers around the world to meet and discuss the financial issues going on. And when he got there, he discovered that most of the bankers, think about that, most of the bankers and financial advisors there had no idea how money is created. Don't you think these people should know how money is created before they start talking to us about financial advice?
Yes.
Just ask me a question. What you're looking at over here are the 10 components of Canada's GDP from Statistics Canada. It's called Canada's Composite Living Index. Take a look at item number 3. The United States Composite Living Index, which attempts to anticipate American demand for Canadian exports. In other words, the United States GDP is directly correlated to Canada's GDP. Go into Google, when you have a moment, and go type in Peter Schiff was right into Google and check out the video section. Peter Schiff is the author of a fantastic book called Crash Proof. It's a wonderful book. And he was talking in around 2004 to about 2008 to not 10s, not 20s, but hundreds of these financial gurus on television, telling everybody there's a credit crunch coming, there's a subprime mortgage meltdown about to happen, and everybody was ridiculing him and making fun of him. To this day, I don't think a single one of those people have apologized to Mr. Schiff. I wrote my book, Get Ready to Take the Plunge, an essential guide to financial freedom in Canada, the day, and it got printed the day that the stock markets crashed. So how is it that we knew that the market was going to crash, but the mainstream financial world seemed to have missed it? Are we like the smartest people in the world, or are they playing stupid or something? How does that happen? Here's a list. Now I could put, I don't know, how many, there's like 20 people on this list, or 30? I could put another 30 people on this list of people who are warning everybody that a financial crash is coming, and you better start getting prepared. Danger number 4. Almost all competing financial gurus will tell you that the other group is either wrong, or they're a bunch of liars or scammers, even if they are not, and their investment products or strategies are better. So let's take a look at some of these major investment products. The investment world is getting more and more dangerous while the political environments and the scams are getting worse. I'm going to give you the 30-day test. This is just news. In fact, this is the 20-day test, yes?
Was that when we were in Seattle?
Yes, it is. It was when we were in Seattle.
Yeah, this was in the summer. They were protesting in front of Chase Bank. So we took a picture.
Government regulators shut down alleged mortgage swindlers who baited victims with Google Ads. This is interesting. The criminal investigation into the alleged mortgage swindlers comes 3 months after Google agreed to pay $500 million to avoid prosecution from Rhode Island for profiting from online ads from Canadian pharmacies that illegally sold drugs in the United States. I put that article, the last time I did Money Uncensored, they knew what they were doing was wrong and they did it anyway. This one particularly makes me angry, so I must watch myself. Anger arises as MF Global clients see billions frozen. 3 weeks after MF Global's collapse, the furious former customers are still fighting to access the billions of dollars as they question why as much as 2/3 of their money is still frozen. There is so much crap out there in the financial world, and now you're getting an idea why I am done selling investments. Because I'm scared. I am scared to sell another investment because of all the scams going on out there. But what still works? See, when you see all the things out there, you're left with what still works. What is the only investment that has never lost any money in the last 1,400 years? That means year after year, month after month, it hasn't lost a dime of money. Do, 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 do.